getting Desmos pulled up here. Here's your review for Unit 4.2 tests. Let's do it. It says a customer paid a total of $8 for cookies, for 30 cookies. Some of the cookies were sugar and the rest were chocolate chip. Okay, sorry, some typos here. Each sugar cookie costs 25 cents. Each chocolate chip cookie costs 35 cents. How many sugar chocolate chip cookies did the customer purchase? All right, so this is a system of equations, okay? A system, and we're going to need to solve the system. And how do we do that? First, we set up the equations. So look, if there are 30 cookies and some were sugar, we'll call that X, and some were chocolate chip, we'll call that Y. Then my first equation is going to be adding up the cookies to the total 30. X plus Y equals 30. X, let me try to write this here. X plus Y equals 30. Okay, and then my other equation, now we're going to add the money onto it. So if X is sugar, my sugar cookies cost 25 cents. So my equation is going to be 0.25 X plus, and then my chocolate chip cookies are Y, which is 35 cents, so 0.35 Y, and that's going to equal the total, which the total $8. Cool. Now, each of these we have to solve. So when I'm solving for Y, okay, remember solving for this Y, I need to get rid of this positive X, and the opposite is to subtract X here, and then subtract X here. Okay, bring down Y equals. Now remember, this negative X has to go in front of the 30 because it's mx plus b. Negative X plus 30. All right, and then over here, solving for Y, again, I need to get rid of the positive 0.25x, so I'm going to subtract 0.25x. Okay, on both sides. All right, so these cancel out. We're going to bring down 0.35y equals, and the negative 0.25 is going to go in front of the 8, so negative 0.25. And then the plus 8 goes second. One moment. Okay. So x and then plus 8. 1 second. Oh my gosh. My pen is really not working for me. It's very sad. All right, there we go. And then our last step to get y by itself. We need to get rid of the 0.35, so we're going to divide by 0.35, divide by 0.35, divide by 0. All right. So we end up with the equation y equals negative 0.25 over 0.35 x plus 8 over 0.35. Okay, that was a lot. Let's go ahead and type this thing into Desmos so we can get our two equations and solve it. Negative x plus 30. All right. And then our other one is y equals negative 0.25 on top, 0.35 on the bottom, x plus 8 divided by 0.35. Now, these are both y equals. They should show up here. So if you don't see it, you got to zoom out. And there it is. Boom, 25.5. So our solution is 25, 5. But we have to interpret this, okay? So remember, x and y, x is 25, and x we said was sugar cookies. So sugar cookies should be 25 sugar cookies. And then the chocolate chip is y, and y we said was 5. So it should be 5 chocolate chip cookies. All right. So remember, this is how we do systems of equations. You have to write this on a blank scratch sheet of paper when you have this on your computer. You cannot guess. You have to do this the right way, okay? Number 2, what is the solution to this system? Once again, we want this to be y equals, okay? So first I'm going to write this one here. So 2x minus y equals 18. To get y by itself, we get rid of the positive 2x minus 2x minus 2x negative y equals negative 2x plus 18. Now look, negative y means negative 1y. So to get rid of that negative 1, we divide by negative 1, divide by negative 1, divide by negative 1. So the negative 1's cancel, and now we have the equation y equals. Now the negatives cancel out and make that a positive 2x. (18) divided by negative 1 minus 18. Here's one of them. Now this is a weird one. 2x, right up here, 2x minus y equals 18. Oh, my bad. I wrote the wrong one. X equals 8y minus 6. Okay, first I want to switch this. 8y minus 6 equals x. Well, now if I'm solving for y, to get rid of that minus 6, add 6. So now I have 8y equals x plus 6. Last step, to get rid of that 8 in front of y, divide by 8, divide by 8, divide by 8. 8's cancel out. Now I have y equals now x over 8 is a 1 over 8 x plus 6 over 8. Now you could reduce it, or you could just type it that way. Okay, so we're going to take that and graph these two equations. Sorry for that. So these two equations, 2x minus 18 and this other one, and you can see they crossed right there. After you graph the two y equals slope-intercept form equations, you get the solution of 10 comma 2, and there you go, 10 and 2 in the right order though, right? X comma y. So, all right, what is the y value of the solution? So once again, we need to solve for y. This one looks like it'll be a little bit easier, so that's good. So I'm solving for y. I need to get rid of this positive 9x minus 9x minus 9x. Bring down y equals, this goes in front, so the minus 9x goes first because that's your mx, and your b is minus 14. That's y equals, right? On the other one, here's y, so to get rid of the minus 4x, I add 4x on both sides. Cancels this out, bring down y equals, mx goes in front of the b, so the 4x goes first, and the minus 1, the b goes second. Once again, I'm going to graph two equations, find the solution. So we have negative 9x minus 14, and then we have y equals 4x minus 1. And then I can see the solution right here is negative 1, negative 5. And then what's the y value? Now the y value is going to be the second number there, so negative 5. Not negative 1, not positive 5. That's our solution set, and we got a specific value. Now, we want to know which system of linear equations to graph on the grid. Now, there's a couple do this, you can type these in to Desmos and see which one matches. That's one way to do it. So like, look, negative 2x minus 4. Does this match these two lines? So look, this goes through negative 1 right here, but on this graph, this goes through negative 4. That ain't it, So that doesn't work. That doesn't work. What about negative 2x minus 8? Let's do this next one. Well, again, it doesn't go through negative 8 here. It doesn't work. This doesn't work. This doesn't match. That doesn't work. Okay, and if that didn't work here, it definitely doesn't work here, right? Well, what about this one? Negative 2x minus 8 over 3? Well, let's try that one. That one doesn't match either. None of these look like they match. That's crazy. Well, dang. None of these match. So, none of these answer choices are good. That's funny. Ha ha ha. What we need to do is get some equations that do work. So let's do that. All right. Here's my equation. Sorry, here's my graph. Let's write two equations from this graph. Sorry, that was my mistake. Didn't change the answer choices. That's an L. Mr. G takes the L. Now check it out. If I'm going to do this equation, the B value is negative 1. And then the slope goes down 1, 2, 3, negative 3, to the right 2, positive 2. So this equation, so this M, down 3, right 2, negative 3 over 2. All right, so one of my equations is going to be y equals mx plus b, negative 3 over 2x minus 1. Cool. Now this y-intercept right here, that b value is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Y-intercept of 4. And this slope goes up 1 over 1. So the m is 1 over 1. So that equation would be y equals mx plus b. M is 1, x. Now 1x is just usually x plus b, so plus 4. All right, so again, my bad. These are your two equations. You could graph them in Desmos and they would match that. Forgive my oops over here. Number 5 says Jerry Jones bought 4 items at the Cowboys game that cost a total of $11.75. Popcorn costs $3.50 each. Soda costs $1.25 each. Which of the systems of equations below could be used to determine P, the amount of popcorn, and S, the amount of sodas Jerry bought at the game? Now, I know you don't see the number symbol, but it says right here there's 4 total items, right? And then what do you have? Popcorn for X is your first term. Soda, Y, for your second term. So your first equation, now instead of X and Y, notice how the answer choices have P and S. So popcorn is going to be P, soda is going to be S. So if you add up P plus S, it has to equal your total items And the total amount of items, it says, is 4. Now your other equation, your other equation is going to involve money. Okay, so if I'm looking at my answer choices, so far, the items adding up cannot add up to the money, 1175. C and D are eliminated, right? So all I have to add on to P and S is their values, their money values. So popcorn, it says, is 350 each. So when I write my popcorn equation with money, it's going to be 350 P plus, and then my soda is going to cost 125 each. So 125 S, and that's going to equal the total amount 1175. Now notice A and B switch them up, but it's going to be A. Cool. You don't have to solve it. That's it. You're setting them up. Number 6 says Luca collects basketball cards and hockey cards. Okay. So once again, we're going to label this with the variables B, and the hockey is going to be H. Okay. He has a total items 213 cards. So my items equation, B plus H, has to equal the total items 213. Cool. Already I can tell that it has to be D. That's the only one that has that equation, right? But we want to make sure everything else makes sense. It says the number of basketballers B is 14 more than triple the hockey cards. Okay. Now, what does B is? Okay. Is means equal sign. B row. B is equals. Now when it says 14 more than, you're adding 14, right? More than is like plus sign. More than what though? Triple hockey. So you're going to start with the triple hockey, 3 times H. You'll know triple means times 3. And then 14 more means plus 14. And that does match letter D. Okay. All right. Number 7. The tables of ordered pairs represent some points in the graphs of 2 different lines. Okay. Which system represents the graph of the 2 lines? Well, let's take each of these tables and get some linear equation. Now, if you remember, since these are linear, you only need to do 2 points. Okay. So let's drag this over, start typing this in. Remember, you go to plus sign, table, and we're going to put in the first point, and then the second point. Remember, the first column, first row is going to be the first column. The second row is going to be the second column. Okay, and then you have to remember this: y1 squiggle mx1 plus b. Okay, let's write that over here. y1 squiggle mx1 plus b. Okay. Now notice it gives me my my m and my b. So my first equation is going to be y equals negative 0.75x and then plus 1.25. All right, and the second equation. -5, -35, -3, -25. All right, and then this equation, y equals 5x minus 10. All right, now here's the question. Which one of these is going to give us these two equations? So what we're going to have to do, and let me just rewrite this at the top instead, okay? Go off to the side. Y1 squiggle mx1 plus b in Desmos. All right. Now, if I start solving this, 3x subtract 3x from both sides. Push that out. -4y equals -3x minus 5. And you divide everything by -4. Get y equals, now negative divided by negative is a positive. 3 divided by 4 is 0.75x. -5 over -4 is a positive, and 5 divided by 4 is 1.25. Now look, does this equation match this equation? And it would be almost a yes, except for this one has a negative here, and this one does not have a negative here. Okay, so that first equation cannot be this. So that's going to be a... Okay, let's try this one. 4x minus 3y equals -10 minus 4x minus 4x bring down -3y equals -4x. Sorry. All right, so we're going to minus 4x minus 10. Okay. Okay, and then we have to divide by -3 to get rid of that coefficient. So we get y equals, but look, negative divided by negative cancels out. 4 over 3 is actually 1.3 repeating x. Negative 10 over negative 3 is plus, because the negatives cancel out, 3.3 repeating. So, do you see how that does not match this equation again? So, we are not going to be able to use that one either. That is a no. And, okay, let's try this one. 3x plus 4y equals 5. You subtract 3x on both sides. 4y equals, put that in front, negative 3x plus 5. Divide everything by 4, and you should get negative 0.75x plus 1.25. And that is what you're supposed to get. Right? Up here. So that matches right here. That's what we need. That's great. And notice how the last one doesn't match. So it's got to be C. If you solve this one, you end up getting y equals 5x minus 10. And that's what you get. So yes, that is the best answer. Okay. One more question here. A system of linear equations is represented by the line J. You have one table and one graph. Okay. Well, let's take this and get the equation using Desmos like we did before. So again, if I can just take 2 points, negative 15, negative 10, negative 9, 8. Now I get 3, m is 3, b is 35, so 3x plus 35. Okay. And then down here, this y-intercept is negative 4, and then the rise over run is up 2 over 3. So it's y equals 2 over 3 is my slope, x. My y-intercept is minus 4. I can take those two equations and I can find their solution. Where do they cross? Another way to find this second equation was to like put these 2 points into a table and do y1 squiggle mx1 plus b, right? Well, anyways, let's type them in. Y equals 3x plus 35. Y equals 2 over 3x minus 4. And you can see where they cross right there at that's not right. Well, let's go back. So our table was what? Negative 15, 10. And then the other one was negative 9, 8. So that first equation was actually something else. My bad. So it's supposed to be negative 1/3 x plus 5. Whoops. All right, so it's supposed to be negative 1/3 x plus 5. So if I graph that one, now I can see where they cross. And they cross right there at 9, comma 2. That's the solution. And that solution is going to be letter B. Cool. So I know this one's weird, but you're going to have to get the equation from the table using y1 squiggle mx1 plus b using Desmos. The other one, you can still do it with 2 points the same way, or count the rise over run for slope and the y-intercept for b. All right.